What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV. Your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And guys, it is Friday. So happy Friday to all of y'all. Hope y'all are having a great week. Hey, it's also Labor Day weekend, so if you got the day off, you got an extra day off, maybe 2 days off if you're in the military, things like that. Hey, enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Throw something on the grill. Put some steaks on. I don't know, man. If you're vegan, put some tofu. If I don't know, bro. Whatever you do, I just want you to be happy, have fun, and have a great time this weekend, bro. And we are going to go ahead and get started into today's episode. And from the looks of it, right now, first thing I want to talk about is apparently we have a Moneyball team that's been going around, and I actually like it. I actually kind of like the idea. So what happened here is essentially there was an article on the Charlotte Observer talking about how analytics have really revamped the direction the Carolina Panthers are going in, and you're kind of seeing the fruits of that labor this past offseason, just going forth from the draft picks to the signings to the trades. And the head of that has been Brad Tillis. Brad Tillis, Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, they've really brought into the analytics game of trying to revamp and find new ways and efficient ways to get the most out of the Panthers organization. And here's what Brad Tillis had to say about it. Brad said, "That was something I knew was important to the Teppers, was being data-oriented, but not necessarily data-driven. And so I knew I needed a strong analytics group. I'd had a lot of experience with analytics, so I knew what I wanted and I knew where I wanted to be, and I just knew I needed a lot of help to get there. I thought to myself, if I ever got the chance to build a real analytics department, I would bring Eric," that's Eric Eager, who is also a part of our analytics team, and he was also the VP of Pro Football Focus, and amongst a number of other things. So that's who he's talking about when he says Eric. He says, "I would bring Eric with me." And Eric kept on ascending elsewhere. So that was more. So the more he was ascending, the more I was like, I've got to get some real juice in a building to bring somebody like Eric at this point. So I just kind of waited for the opportunity, and that was it. And I always thought the Moneyball approach was kind of interesting, and especially if you're in the basketball community, you know how analytics have kind of changed the game, and everybody's saying like, oh, the new numbers and the new analytics, and it's kind of been twofold. They've been very successful, and the analytics have shown like, hey, in certain situations you do X, Y, and Z, and it's come to fruition. It's made great investments. It's done great numbers for a number of teams. However, on the back end, some teams have become too reliant on the new analytics and not just the eye test and what they see on the field, to the point where it can backfire. And you're like, well, the analytics say we should have done this. Okay, bro. But do you see how we're operating on the field? For example, the analytics could tell us, hey, you have a higher percentage of making it on 4th and 2 than you do punting the ball away. But our offensive game all day has been stagnant as God knows what. Are you going to trust the analytics, or are you just going to trust the flow of the game at that moment in time? You get what I'm saying? And some people would be like, nah, just take the risk with the analytics. Sometimes, all right, you take the risk with the analytics, it backfires, now we're in a bad position. Now what? Now what's the deal? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes analytics make perfect sense. Sometimes analytics do numbers for you. Sometimes analytics put you in the right direction, because they even talked about the trade that was on the table for the Rams, between Carolina and the Rams during the draft. But when their team went over the numbers, went over the analytics, they realized that wasn't going to be the best direction for us. What ended up happening? Carolina ended up going with T-Mac. Carolina got Scorton. Carolina got Umami Yellen. And you don't get that. You may not get that haul if you drop all the way to 26 from 8. So that's one positive I will give the analytics team. Hey, they knew what they were doing. They trusted their numbers, and they backed it up. So at the end of the day, can you really say we're in the wrong? And if Carolina does better, I expect them to be, if Carolina does better this year than last year, that continues to bode well for this analytics group and this analytics direction because it's like, all right, we've built on top of that. We've gone from 2-15 to 5-12 to I'll say 8-9 to potentially 11-6, 11-6 the next year. You see what I'm saying? It stacks on top of each other and it makes more sense. Plus, Brant has already done this once in Kansas City. And we see what Kansas City has become. I'm not saying Carolina is on track right now to be the next Kansas City because some of y'all going to look at me like I'm crazy and say that I'm in Delulu land. I'm not going to say that. But what I am saying is we have a guy who's helped build an organization through his analytics approach, and it can be done again. When you have the keys to success, you know what you want and you know what you don't want. So Brant being one of those guys to see the vision and see it come to fruition once before, he's like, I know how to get there. And we can get there again, just with a different team. So, hey, Brant, I'm all for it. If it brings success, hey, I'm all rocking with it. I'm all rocking with it. Number 2, and the biggest news from yesterday, man. Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers.
Nani?
If you told me that Micah Parsons was going to be a Green Bay Packer right before week 1 this offseason, I would have called you a liar. I would have called you a Jesse Smouye lie. I would have called you the biggest fibber this side of the planet. Bro, there was no way on God's green earth I thought he was going to end up in Green Bay. Did I think he was going to get traded? Yes. Yes, I did think he was going to get traded. Did I think it was going to be to the NFC North? To Green Bay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, and the trade details of what he was traded for, bro. Look, I need y'all to see this, bro. If y'all haven't already. Like, look at this. He was traded to Green Bay for 2 first-round draft picks in 2026 and 2027 and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Then he agreed to a 4-year, $188 million contract with $136 million in total guarantees, and it makes him the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history.
Nani?
Now, I told y'all. A lot of people said when Michael was on the trade block to go get him over Trey Hendrickson. And what was the one thing I told y'all I didn't think about when it came to trading for Parsons? The one reason why I said not to go get him was because of the money. I said the money to get Micah Parsons and even for Trey Hendrickson is too steep in my mind for Carolina right now. It's not that the man ain't talented. It's not that the man ain't good. It's not that the man can't ball. It's none of that. It was honestly the money situation. And when I look back at this, $188 million with $136 total million in guarantees, and now he's the highest non-paid QB in NFL history, higher than TJ Watt, higher than Myles Garrett. What? No. Is Micah Parsons the 3rd, 4th, 5th best pass rusher in the league? Yes. Do I think he is a better pass rusher than TJ Watt and Myles Garrett? No. Absolutely not. I will stand 10 toes on that. Y'all can look at me crazy. No. And to me, y'all say he's paid higher than them? To me, y'all say, yeah, that $188 million? Then not only that, you gave up your first round pick for the next 2 drafts. Carolina, we are in a rebuilding phase. We cannot afford to give up the first round picks for our team. I'm sorry. I'm that guy. In rebuilds, at least have your first round pick. I don't care about nothing else. If you are in a rebuild for any franchise, make sure you have that first round pick, bro. Unless you know what you're getting, like unless you're getting that franchise player, I'm talking, you know that is your franchise player for at least the next 7 years. What are we doing? What are we doing? So this has crazy ramifications in my mind. It makes our, week 8? It makes our, I just want to make sure. 3, 2, 1. All right, 6. It makes our Week 6 matchup with the Cowboys a hell of a lot easier. But our Week 9 matchup with Green Bay just got a little harder. Man, I think that's a crazy trade. Shout out to Green Bay, I guess, for pulling the trigger, and shout out to Michael Parsons for getting out of Dallas. Jerry Jones is already saying this trade is going to make you better, Cowboys fans. Hey, if you're watching this video, sucks to suck. Hey, listen, every day the Cowboys suck, hey, I'm winning. I'm winning. So, sucks to suck. Jerry, you know what? And I will go on record and say this. Jerry Jones is the biggest problem for the Dallas Cowboys organization. They need to get Jerry Jones up out of there. If they do, the Dallas Cowboys have the greatest potential to be Super Bowl contenders in 3 to 5 years. But they will not do that with Jerry Jones continuing to be the owner and making the decisions he's making. They just won't. You will continue to be a bunch of what ifs, what could have been. I have no qualms about saying that. So, hey, I will say this. I think Carolina dodged the bullet. Michael Parsons is a great player. I'm not paying all of that right now in the rebuild that we got to do, especially with certain players coming up to be re-signed in the next, year or two. Yeah, no. Nope. Financially, that was not the smart move. That was a financial ticket time bomb. Green Bay's in a better spot to make that decision. So, that's why it makes sense for them. I'll let them have that, man. Then, thirdly, it's one of our favorites. It's a Would You Rather Panthers edition. And today's Would You Rather is actually kind of simple. It's very simple in sense of not too much to think about, but I think it's a cool idea. All right, guys. Would you rather have VIP box seats to an NFC title game in Carolina or nosebleeds to Carolina's next Super Bowl appearance? Whatever year we go to, let's say we go to the Super Bowl this year and we host the NFC title game. Would you rather have VIP box seats, just paid for, free and everything, to that NFC title game, to watch us win the NFC title game? Or would you rather have nosebleeds to watch us play in the Super Bowl? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Oh, actually, man. I'm probably taking the box seats because it's at home and that environment is just going to be rocking and happy. Seeing the Super Bowl 1 in person would be dope, though. Seeing the Super Bowl 1 in person would be dope. But I'm probably taking the box seats also because drinks and food are free. That's probably why I'm taking the box seats. Drinks, food are free, so I'm probably taking the box seats at the end of the day. That's just me. And lastly, before we get into it, y'all know Panther freeze frame of the day. And here's today's freeze frame from yesterday's practice. I like this photo a lot because it just shows the grittiness that Carolina's getting back to practice right before the season. It's like, hey, yo, we getting down in the trenches. We getting dirty. We getting grimy. And that's the way this season's going to be. Keep pounding. It's going to be tough. But guess what? We're going to come out smiling, happy, and winning. That's the way I interpret this photo, and that's the way I'm going to keep interpreting this photo, man. But now, for y'all favorite segment, it is time for Panther Nation to speak their truth. First one comes up from Chuck Federal. My man says, when will the Panthers realize they have skilled players, but not nearly enough O-line strength?
NANI?
What? Huh? I mean, the first year Bryce was in the league, he got sacked 62 times, but we also had one of our main O-linemen who was injured for most of the year. Then last year, that number goes from 62 to 29. And we're bringing that O-line again back for a third year. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. Now, if you want to say depth, that could be an argument. But Chuck, I'm gonna need you to explain this one, my boy. Like, I don't agree with this one. I don't. I can't say I agree there. Next comes from JDB Carolina Breeze 1911. My man says, this is Canales. Hey Hunter, we want you here. Fake a hammy so no other team wants to sign you when we release you. Thielen's going home and we want you in this role. You'll be compensated, brother. You'll be compensated. Hey, that's exactly how that conversation went. I like that. Hopefully that's how that conversation went, and hopefully he comes back. I've already been hearing that he's been fielding offers from other teams, man. Yeah. And then lastly, comes from Papa_1986. Oh, wait, hold up. I'm sorry. There you go, JD. Got to make sure you get yours, man. And then last one comes from Papa_1986. Says, what do you think about trying to get Tyler Huntley for a backup? I'm not against Tyler Huntley if you want him on practice squad. I'm not against that. I think he did solid in the preseason. He's not a bad QB, but he's not somebody, if God forbid Bryce and Andy were to get injured, I don't want him going into the season. That's why I like the Hayden Hooker signing. I like that signing better. So I will say that. Oh, and speaking of signings, shout out to Carolina for yesterday for the practice squad. They signed Crometti, DJ Dallas, and Kalen King, and they cut Shamar Bartholomew. They released them from the practice squad too. Get them out of here. But all right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping. Next, what was it? Comment below and let me know, what are your thoughts about the Moneyball approach and the analytics team? Do you think it's going in the right direction or not? How do you feel about the Micah Parsons trade? Do you think Carolina missed out? Do you think we dodged the bullet? Do you think it's kind of in the middle? And thirdly, again, which would you choose? VIP box seats for a Carolina NFC title game or nosebleeds to a Carolina Super Bowl? Let me know in the comment section below, because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with two tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. Have a great weekend. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.